I literally can't believe I'm saying this, but Sami Zayn, someone who has been chasing a world title since 2016, is your new WWE champion. Now, as everyone knows, I am a big Cody Rhodes fan. Ultimate laser of him. I get mad, I get sad, I start crying when he loses. So, and I didn't even watch Night of Champions for a couple of reasons. I was out doing stuff, and I haven't really watched wrestling in like 3 weeks at this point. And when I found out Cody Rhodes lost the championship, and nonetheless to Sami Zayn, I about lost my mind. Because Sami Zayn, no one likes Sami Zayn, I'm not gonna lie. You know when the perfect time to put the world title on Sami was? When he was the overest he could have ever been back in 2023 during the early months of 2023. But the reason why they didn't put the title on him is because they were setting up Roman versus Cody, because they already had Cody select Roman for the title. Well, I forgot. Oh, wait. No, wait. I forgot. There was only one champion, and that was Roman Reigns, so everyone knew Cody Rhodes was going to pick Roman Reigns. I forgot about that. The World Heavyweight Championship didn't exist until May. Forgot about that. Scratch that. But that's the only reason why Sami Zayn did not win the championship, is because Cody Rhodes was already going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, and that was already the box office hit, right? That was already going to be the box office hit. But now we're here in Saudi Arabia, which, by the way, Michael Cole said in commentary, it took Sami Zayn 10 tries to become WWE champion. First off, if it takes me 10 tries to become WWE champion, I will just quit. I'm not going to lie. 10 tries? 10 tries! But, cut the character back a little bit. Won't lie, Sami Zayn does deserve it, because, he's worked for WWE over a decade and has put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and made the Bloodline storyline in 2022 more intriguing, more interesting, and honestly brought back that Bloodline storyline to revive it, honestly, because it started getting stale a little bit towards after WrestleMania 38. So I'm glad they ended him, but I mean, technically, he does deserve it, but as a Cody Rhodes fan, give it back to him now! Now, another good thing that happened on the show is what I did. I didn't watch the match, because again, I didn't watch Night of Champions. I haven't watched any wrestling in about 3 weeks, but I did see Io Sky become Queen of the Ring. I mean, it's deserved, because imagine if the world champion Liv Morgan was the Queen of the Ring. Now, I couldn't tell you why Liv Morgan was in the Queen of the Ring tournament anyway, because she's a world champion. But that's besides the point. I'm glad Io Sky won, because that would have just been terrible if a world champion won the Queen of the Ring tournament. And also, I'm glad Io Sky won, but I think we also have to give some credit to someone. And that is Danhausen. We need to give credit to Danhausen, because if it wasn't for Danhausen, Liv Morgan might have already been Queen of the Ring. And Liv Morgan decided to give Danhausen a big smack across the face. And of course, that didn't probably work out. That didn't work out well for Liv Morgan. So I think we all need to thank Danhausen for not letting a world champion become the Queen of the Ring. Even though Liv Morgan should have never been placed in the tournament. Which, by the way, this is so stupid. Adam Pearce should have put Maxine Dupree in the tournament instead of her. It don't make sense to me. But it's already picked. Io Sky has decided she is picking Liv Morgan for SummerSlam, for who she wants to pick. And, at least they're finally doing something with Liv Morgan. Right? at least they finally are making some storyline interesting. And we got, I believe, our first match confirmed for SummerSlam. I mean, besides Oba versus Roman. But yeah, we do got our first match confirmed for SummerSlam. And I'm kind of glad Io Sky picked Liv Morgan, because then we don't have to wait around until, so I think Stephanie Vaquer gets back on her feet. Also, though, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like if Rhea Ripley wasn't injured, Io Sky would have definitely have picked Rhea Ripley, right? Right? I don't really know. But now there's a potential that we are able to see Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the Crown Jewel Championship in Crown Jewel. So there's a potential we see that. I'm not gonna lie, be kind of hyped for that match, if you know what I'm saying. But I'm glad we didn't have to wait a couple of weeks to find out who Io Sky picked. I'm glad we didn't have to wait like 100 years to figure out who Io Sky picked, because I swear, if like this happened to the Royal Rumble, it took like Liv Morgan 5 months to decide who she wants, even though it's pretty obvious from television. But I'm glad that Io Sky made her pick already, and I'm glad that we might get another Io Sky title reign. Okay, again, like I said, I did not see a single match from Crown Jewel, or wrong show, Night of Champions, because I was out, and I haven't watched any type of wrestling, or anything, or any of the highlights in a couple of weeks. But, I'm gonna be honest here. I was not happy seeing Jey Uso go to the King of the Ring finals, because I thought there's no way they're gonna have Jey Uso win the King of the Ring, right? Because obviously Oba Femi is gonna get stopped by Brock Lesnar, because I feel like I've seen Brock Lesnar or Oba Femi call Brock Lesnar out every single week since Clash in Italy. But I'm thankful. I am very thankful to WWE, to Triple H, to whoever produced this match, to God, that Jey Uso is not the King of the Ring winner. Because Oba Femi is the King of the Ring. I am so glad WWE said, you know what, we're pulling the trigger on Oba Femi, because we know Oba Femi is the biggest, the baddest, and the hottest new star in all of WWE, and they need to capture and capitalize on the momentum Oba Femi has. And WWE has this tendency to, like, drop hints of storylines, or drop storylines and pretend they never happened. Like, remember when Bayley was like a schizophrenic person like a year ago? What happened to that? Exactly. WWE dropped him. But go back to WrestleMania, Roman Reigns got called out by Oba Femi. And then Roman Reigns said, let's see how you do during the summer. Got us hyped. And then we see Brock Lesnar return and have a match with Oba Femi. Oba Femi's not going to face Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. Turns out, he's most likely going to pull double duty, right? Because we are still expecting him to face Brock at SummerSlam and officially retire him. But at least we're finally getting in. WWE didn't try to, sweep Oba calling out Roman under the rug at WrestleMania. But I'm glad Oba Femi won the match, because imagine if Jey Uso was King of the Ring. That would have been awful. God, a guy who barely can hit a super kick properly being King of the Ring? Whew. That would have been the worst thing that's ever happened. I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. Though I will say that hate on Jey Uso is a little too dramatic, because people are saying that he was a worse world champion than Jinder Mahal. Are you okay? Because I think they need some psychological check if they think that's okay. But it's whatever. So I'm not gonna lie. Did not really see anything in the match. I saw when I was scrolling Instagram, I may or not seen like a 2-second clip from this match from like Wheezy Blonde or whatever. But all I know is Seth Rollins won. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't quite understand why he won. I personally believe Braun Breaker needed this more. Because Seth Rollins is, what's the word? Old! And not gonna be there for probably even the next 10 years. And Braun Breaker, there's a big likelihood that Braun Breaker will be in WWE for like the next 2 decades. So I don't really quite understand why he lost to Seth Rollins. It's too big of a deal. Not really. Again, also I haven't watched wrestling in like a couple weeks because, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I got burnt out. I got severe burnt out in May. Severely burnt out from pro wrestling because I'm not gonna lie, what WWE was putting out was straight booty. But again, I think Braun Breaker should have won. That's just my personal opinion. But yeah. So we're moving on to 2 matches I don't know anything about, I'm not gonna lie. Which is Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's United States Championship. And one thing I gotta say is, again, I haven't watched WWE television in weeks. So can someone kindly explain to me how this feud happened again? How do we get back to Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton? Because this is feeling like it's reminding me of 2025 again. How did we get back here? Look, I get it, Rhea Ripley's injured, and Jade Cargill was probably supposed to face Rhea Ripley here, but how did we get back here again? Like, I'm confused. And I need someone to explain to me how we got Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton again. How did this happen? I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know who won this match. Let me check back who won. Well, according to the Google AI overview, Tiffany Stratton successfully defended her championship. Okay, well, what's this? The baddies. Is that what WWE is really calling them? Boy. Oh, boy. Oh, Charlotte Flair help. Oh, boy. No, boy. Oh, no. Tell me we're not going to get Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair again. Please tell me we're not getting that. Cause did you see the WrestleMania match? Did you see the WrestleMania match? So, it looks like Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill had a pretty okay match. Again, I'm going to have to rewatch it eventually, but, yeah. I guess congratulations to Tiffany. And to another match that I did not watch, because, again, did not have a chance to watch Night of Champions because I was out with my family, and I may or may have not fallen asleep in the car on the ride home. It's fine, though. It's fine. But all I heard was when I was watching Santi's stream, like, past, like, I was scrolling through it, like, I was skimming through it, seeing, like, reactions to stuff. Not gonna lie. I heard that Ricky Saints got a reaction from the crowd. For the first time in forever, Ricky Saints got a reaction from a crowd. And I'm telling you, these Saudi crowds aren't too bad, but I actually did see some commenters saying this Saudi crowd isn't hitting for some reason. So was it, forgot you guys, was the Saudi crowd hitting like it normally is? Because normally the Saudi crowd is nice and pumped up for the men's matches a lot. But were they pumped up for the men's matches as they normally are? Was it like how they were in, when's the last time WWE was in Saudi Arabia? Royal Rumble? Was it like that for Royal Rumble? Was it like how they were for like the men's Royal Rumble? Or like the men's matches? Was it like that? Because if they were off today, maybe they just see how bad WWE television has been for the past, like, a couple weeks. I don't really know. But, let's see who won. Well, according to AI Overview, Trick Williams successfully defended his title against Ricky Saints at Night of Champions. So, congratulations. Also, congratulations to Trick Williams on getting married to Lash Legend. I saw that. So congratulations. Congratulations. What is this? Bro, I'm not gonna lie, ESPN, bro. You're a $1 billion company and Mr. Beast got better thumbnails than you? That's a problem. Bro. I have better thumbnails than ESPN. What is that font? Holy. So, again, I got much to say. I'm kind of glad Trick Williams retained because I feel like the best thing about Friday Night SmackDown was Trick Williams' rants and promos and his United States Championship reign. And I'm glad that Lil Yachty's still with him, by the way. I'm glad that Lil Yachty is still with him because let's be honest, bro. Lil Yachty, the worst thing about Lil Yachty is him talking. Like, I'm fine with him just in his presence being there, but his voice is the most annoying voice I've ever heard in my entire life. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Oh. But I am glad that Tricky Willie won. So yeah. So thank you for hearing me rant about Night of Champions, a show that I did not watch, but I did hear the results of. And thank you for listening to my opinions about the show, even though I guarantee you probably don't care about my opinions. I mean, why would you care about anyone else's opinion? Unless it's something important. So yeah. Next thing that WWE needs to do is shorten SmackDown. And, like, next SmackDown. Please, I need that. I need SmackDown to be shortened to watch it again without falling asleep. And also the product needs to be better than, like, what it has been doing. Anyway, subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up button. That's all I have to say. Deuces.